Hi, everybody. My name is Rita Crompton, and we have been working on getting you through the inventing process. I help inventors get from idea to licensing because most inventors really are looking for licensing, even if you don't know it yet. So what we're going to talk about today is your most valuable asset. You had the aha moment, and somebody, whether it was you, all right, or somebody sees you working with your prototype and they go, oh, you really should get a patent on that. Yes, listen to them. You should really get a patent on that. And it's not that simple, and I'm being a little bit sarcastic in my tone. What we're really looking for is that, can you file good, not something, can you file good intellectual property? So in the first part of that is to go through and make sure that you've done good searches, that you've had the independent searches. And I know I harp on this all the time, but that really is the first thing that you spend money on, is getting that independent search done, because you are trying to protect your most valuable asset. All right, your most valuable asset is going to be the patent, what you can file. And the most valuable or the strongest piece of intellectual property is a utility patent. How is it used? A lot of times people will say, well, I filed a design patent. If there's a use to it, a design patent doesn't work. And you can read a lot about the difference between the two. Take the time to do so. When you finally do engage your registered patent attorney, ask them about it. Don't default, and don't let someone push you into a design patent. Yes, it's cheaper, and there's a reason it's cheaper. It's because it's not as valuable. If you can get a utility patent, or a non-provisional is how it's referred to sometimes as well, all right, that's the way you want to go. All right, and let me break it down for you a little bit more. A utility patent is how it's used. All right, can also be referred to as the non-provisional. The provisional patent is that first 12 months. It marks a date in time when your protection starts. It gives you then a year to develop the idea, to test the marketplace a little bit, refine any changes. You cannot do this yourself. All right. Again, protect your most valuable asset. If you don't walk away from this video with anything except that line, etch it in stone. Protect your most valuable asset. So the way to do that, all right, if you need to file a provisional, by all means do it. Protect that timestamp. In the provisional, you have got to have an enabling disclosure. Again, I'm giving you out terms. Ask your attorney what these mean. The issue is that when you are trying to protect that spot in time and someone challenges you on that, there has got to be enough in that provisional to protect your most valuable asset. Okay, so what are some of the bad things that you hear out there online and you read in books? In that 500-page book that you bought to read about intellectual property as one of the assets, one of the things that tells you, file it yourself. No, doing your own intellectual property is like doing your own brain surgery. By the time you realize you've made a mistake, it's too late to fix it. There's a reason these guys get a lot of money to file a good patent for you, and it's because it's hard work. And if they really know the dance, and I always refer to it as, a complicated dance, you're doing the tango, it's a work of art. Every patent is a unique work unto itself, just like the masterpieces. And so for someone to give you a template where you're going to fill in the words, I can go through it and circle the words. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm not a registered patent attorney. And if you can circle the words, you do not have a good registered patent attorney doing the work. So what we look for is sorry about that. There we go. All right. So what we're looking for then is what can you actually do yourself? Learn the jargon, learn the words, learn the process. So you don't want to pay the attorney to educate you. That's just silly. So those books are good when you are out there trying to understand what is the process. Understand the difference between the different filing fees. What is an office action? How long does it take? When somebody tells me, it's like, well, I was given notice that I have filed. Well, a letter in the mail means they received everything. It doesn't mean that you've got anything besides a letter in the mail. Understand the steps in there. You are protecting your most valuable asset, right? So learn what that is. There are good attorneys and there are bad attorneys. And a lot of times it has nothing to do with how much they're charging you. The swing is from basically $200 an hour to $600 an hour, sometimes higher, right? What we're looking for is, you know, you've got your search done. Now you're getting an opinion done. If the attorney, this is one of the heads up. If they say you still need to get a non-disclosure, find a different attorney, because once they filed a provisional patent application for you, you should be able to rest on that unless you have made material changes, and you have to keep that in mind. The provisional only protects what is in the provisional. And again, get yourself a book that gives all these terms out. Talk to your patent attorney about these things. You want to ask them to explain the difference to you between the design patent and the utility patent. All right, I had a gentleman that had a really good licensing offer, and he told me all he had filed was a design patent because that's what his attorney had told him to do. It was because that's all the attorney wanted to do. He's used to big clients, not little independent inventors. I'd like to beat him with a stick. All right, so this gentleman then had to really scramble to file something that was on the improvements. That's the wrong way to go. File the utility first. That's what a licensee wants to take a test drive with. It's like driving a car when you go to the car dealership. They're going to take a look at it. Can they defend it if someone infringes on it? That utility is really, really important. So then you're going to ask the attorney, all right, well, what needs to go into a provisional? Does it make sense for me to do a provisional? Get that timestamp as fast as possible. Right? I know that there's some people out there that say, oh, do a provisional and then license it and let somebody else then file for the utility patent. No, you're giving up control. Control your most valuable asset. Repeat after me. Control your most valuable asset. You always keep control. All right. Even once you filed and we've licensed it and an office action comes up, you, Mr. Inventor, are going to pay for that office action because you want to control your most valuable asset. Good licensees are renting the right to use your most valuable asset. If you give up control of it, they don't have to pay you anymore. It may say so in the paperwork, but when it comes right down to it, the only resource you have for leverage is controlling your most valuable asset. Same thing goes for the any international filings, any improvements on it. Control your most valuable asset. Right? If they pay for it, they have more leverage, more control. They get to push you around. What if they shelve it? And you can't pull it back now because they own it. When you go out the door, you have to control your most valuable asset. All right? So I really need you to understand that. Your most valuable asset in this process is the utility patent. Could be a design patent. Not necessarily the trademark. If they change the name on it, it doesn't matter what you're calling it because somebody else is putting in a new box, new pictures, new name. Right? The patent, the utility patent, the design patent, any international filings. Control your most valuable asset. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, rita@inventorlady.com. My phone number is 303-910-8889. It's all over the place. And watch the other videos. We talk a lot about that first step on doing the search. We talk more about intellectual property, but we talk about the next steps as well and what those licensees are looking for in that utility patent. So again, protect your most valuable asset. Enjoy your weekend.